When the 49ers selected Gene Washington in the first round of the 1968 draft, they were getting much more than a polished receiver. They were getting a player with a unique insight to the game.
I played quarterback through my junior year at Stanford. So when I made the switch from quarterback to receiver, as a receiver, I thought the way a quarterback thought. So oftentimes a receiver will say to a quarterback, I can get open. But the quarterback can't see the receiver in that particular situation. You might think you're open, but from my vantage point as a quarterback, you're not open. So I always thought along the lines of a quarterback, trying to get myself in situations where not only did I feel that I could maneuver, but the quarterback could see it.
He knew my problems, and he knew how much time he had. He had a little clock in his head. And he took as much as he could, but he didn't take any more. And he knew if I was in trouble, he'd be looking.
But see, now he's coming over to take you. That's why I've got that other side out there pretty good shape.
Who's coming over?
The free safety. He's going to be on you. You're his man whenever they go with that 48 EG. You're his man. You're Mel's man. You're saying he can't get you, huh? Huh?
Quarterbacks, they rely on that. They can't wait to see you get open and throw the ball. It's too late. But a lot of receivers don't think about that. All they think about is just their little immediate area. Well, I'm here, the defensive back here, I'm open. There's a lot more to it than that.
Washington's remarkable ability to elude defenders was in large part due to his regimented body language downfield. It was Gene's consistent, rudimentary style of play that allowed 49er quarterbacks to anticipate his every move, getting the ball into his hands.
Washington was slippery. It was hard to jam. He was a fluid receiver. He'd be on you before you knew it.
Gene was a great receiver. His biggest strength, I think, was running with the ball once he'd catch it. He was almost like a running back in open field. If the ball was anywhere near him, he was going to get it.
Selected an All-Pro and for the Pro Bowl in his first 4 years in the NFL, Washington helped lead San Francisco to Western Division titles in 1970, 71, and 72. In addition, Washington led the 49ers in receiving 6 of his 10 years in the NFL and retired as the club's all-time leading receiver. Washington's approach to football served notice to opponents that a little knowledge can be a dangerous thing. San Francisco had never won a title until the 3 consecutive division crowns the 49ers achieved following the arrival of Washington. Unlike the progression of many great athletes, Washington began his career at its pinnacle, only to see his team spiral out of contention. And while the 49ers were relying on gadget plays to survive, it was the sure hands of Washington that made the plays work.
I was at the top of my game when the 49ers as a team were at the worst. And it was very disheartening. But if a team double covers you, there's not much you can do if your team can't take advantage of other receivers and play calls and so forth and so on.
Despite the 49ers' plummet from championship to cellar, Washington continued to perform as a true professional. In a 49er history rich in receivers, Gene Washington surely ranks among San Francisco's greatest.